Boys and girls, well, it's the team review time. Just trying to do something a bit different for this week. It saves me going and uploading a huge video. Just makes it a lot quicker doing a live. So that's what we're doing today. Round 10, mate. Round 10 was a bit nasty. It really felt like I had gone backwards. And if you look at my ranking, I did. We dropped about 1,700 spots. And even outside of doing the wrong trades this week, which if you watch the round 9 review, I brought in Stewart, I brought in Sharp, who after the team reveal this week actually got dropped, which kind of sucks. But looking at that, I had Weddle and Mitchell on the bench and ended up having Sharp and Simpson on field, and both of them got dropped. Well, not dropped, but injury traded anyway. So it kind of sucks doing that. Let's check out the team. Mate, there was some bloody massive scores this week. So we scored 24-20. So it wasn't great. It wasn't the worst score I had seen the whole year, or at least this week, but it was not fun to kind of have to deal with. It really, really sucked. Ooh, yeah, it really, really sucked. So, what can you do, right? The team of the week, mate. How does this guy score 29-10? This guy literally almost scored 500 more points than me this. How bad does that make you feel? 500 points more. Mate, it sucks. So, it really kind of sucks. You look at teams like this and the bench looks great. Guys like Radaglia, just lucky he doesn't have Ryan to kind of shove it in your face a little bit. But that's just the way the team's gone this week. Keeping Ashcroft obviously was the right play. Bringing in the likes of Humphrey was the right play too. And that's what we're going to try and fix ourselves up for this week. So, went down for the first time in about 9 or 10 weeks, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. We just have to rebuild and move on. So, starting from the back line. Hopefully you guys can see. And that makes it a bit easier for you. Jordan Dawson. So, was scoring really well up until about the fourth quarter and then just kind of hurt. Yeah, as Joe says here, trading out Ashcroft, man. Ashcroft and Wilmot, trading them out really sucked. What can you do? I beat myself up enough last week. What can you do? Jordan Dawson. So a little bit of bother. Was scoring quite well up until about the fourth quarter and then just fell off. So hopefully nothing that's really going to impact this week, but we would have loved to get some extra scoring out of him. Tom Stewart was the one that really, really hurt. So trading him in instead of Zach Merritt in itself cost me, 80-odd points. Trading him and Sharp in cost me like 160 because Sharp and Stewart cost the same as Humphrey. So, points on field. It really sucked. Nick Day cost 100, pretty average. Jack Sinclair, so as you would have seen from the thumbnail, Jack Sinclair went big, which is bloody fantastic because we brought him in. We got him at a little bit of a cheaper price, I think. He went up in cash this week. And he repaid the faith that we had last week. Last week we brought him in, he scored like an 80. And it really stung. I'm like, mate, I don't bring you in to score 80s. So 160 is pretty good. Will Day, speaking to Joe as well. So Will Day really feels like this week he got tagged, yes. But it really felt like he actually fell off quite hard ever since he came back from that suspension. I don't know if there's been a role change at the Hawks. Maybe Walpole or a couple of the other young guys are scoring a lot more. Maybe a Connor Nash is actually taking a bit more of his mid-time or mid-ball, that kind of thing. You know how when Doherty was there before he got injured, seemed to just fall off. He was getting CBAs, but just wasn't getting a lot of the ball. I think that's what it feels like a little bit with Will Day, and he's looking like he might be a trade out for me at some point. Wagner didn't play, ended up having Sheasel on the bench, and I was just like, yep, I'll take Sheasel's score. And then Weddle scores more than him. So what can you do, right? Supercoach is a funny game sometimes. We ended up going, who did we go VC? I think I VC'd Goulden, which was fine because he had scored 2 150s in a row. And then 96, I think him and the Dogs were playing and it was like 3/4 time and he was on 60-odd points. I'm like, no, can't pick this guy. So I went Bont. The pick was better, but obviously there was a lot better scoring throughout the week. So it really hurt that way. Some people like Laird, some people went Laird, some people went Rowan Marshall. Heck, even like a Rosie or someone else might have been a much better pick. You can only do what you can do, right? Bont captain, he normally scores pretty well. Oliver 120, which is fine. You know, that's what we want out of him. And then he got himself injured, so we have to trade him out this week. Laird repaying the faith a little bit. It just sucks that we brought him in for 650, 660K quite a few weeks ago. And then he scored a 145. So really, you know, these people that got him in now or got him in at 580 or 560K are now getting a lot of the benefit, whereas we kind of stink. So, yeah, lost out about 100K there. Tom Green, 119, pretty happy. Jack Steele, so 135. Much, much better than the last week's score. Baker, 61 on field. And then the two guys that really hurt me. So Sam Simpson scored a 20, ended up getting subbed off. And then he's probably not going to play this week because he's coming up as rested. And then Harry Sharp just straight dropped as well. And he was the sub. So Humphrey over him would have ended up being much better play. And it's actually going to cost me again because I'm going to bring Humphrey in this week. Chincotta didn't play. Johnson, 37. Not too bad for the sub. Basically scored more than Simpson in less game time. Obviously, Constable didn't play. Marshall's fine. Sean Darcy would have liked a bit more out of him. Madden, at least he's not injured anymore, which is good. I don't think he'll ever play. But and then Dunkley, 153, pretty happy. I was actually considering making him vice captain or captain for this week, but decided against it. Went the more popular pick, and you know we can see the big difference there. Taranto, 118. Jack Zeeble, 88. So a little bit of a fall off there, but I don't know what happened. He maybe he got a bit of a tagging roll up for defending the forwards in the second half, but he was actually scoring quite well. I know some people in George's Discord came out and said, you know, Jack Zeeble, fake primo, same with Sheasel, fake primo, and you know they're both averaging over 100, so pretty happy with that. Goulden, 96, bit of a fall off, but tough game against North Melbourne. Rosie, 140, and then Cornelio, 108, so could have been worse. And then Mitchell, 82. So, you know, if I had him on field somewhere. What we're trying to do, I've played around with the trains a little bit, and we're going to try and get as many premiums for round, or get as many players, really, for the round 14 and 15 buys, because we're going to struggle a lot with that. This week, we're going to do a couple of trades. I think Chincotta's out. Would have loved to have another boost, but you know, that's life sometimes. Chincotta's out and Oliver's out. I'm playing around with the team a little bit. There's some trades that I'm going to be doing. It may look a little bit fishy, but in the end, it actually worked out quite well. So what did we do? We had Dunkley up. We had Will Day up. We had Constable up. Yeah, that seems about right. Mitchell there. We brought in to the mids. So this week we're bringing in big Zachy Merritt, paying up for him considering what he was priced last week. Should have brought him in last week. Tom Stewart went down in cash for the third week in a row, and we paid up for the player that we probably could have brought in this week and not get punished so much for. As I said at the start, him versus Merritt was about 70 points. So it's a big loss. We could have had a pretty good score and actually gone up the rankings this week. So it's not great. And then we're going to bring in Big Humphrey. So there's a couple of reasons why I'm bringing him in. One is the round 12 buy, which in itself is actually worth something. It would have been nice to have a Rory Atkins or something on the field if I could have facilitated that. But secondly, the low break-even score. So just see if it will allow me to do it. Cool. I think this is what I had before. Yeah, this is what the team was looking like before. So Will Day finishing off the mids at the moment, but once Dunkley and Taranto come down, I'll be looking for 3 midfielders again. Probably another guy in the defense, but we'll just let Weddle and Mitchell appreciate in cash. Glad that I've got a few guys, you know, everyone's green. Got a couple of guys on the bench who should be making some money still. But this week's been absolute carnage when it comes to rookies coming out and rookies coming in. Harry Sharp's out. Drury's probably the only one who got injured last week and hasn't actually been confirmed as being out. But Wagner's out, Constable's out, Sharp's out, Davey's probably going to be out as well. And then Sam Simpson's been rested, even though he's still got the emergency. I doubt he's going to play. He did look very slow in the game, and I can understand why he's been subbed. It's a problem that's been like, we've been really lucky with the last couple of scores, especially that big one a couple of weeks ago. And that's why he's been 250K. But this game was coming. I mean, the guy's been riddled with injuries in his career. It's just kind of a tough situation. So this is the team for right now. Three rookies to get rid of. So Humphrey, Mitchell, and Weddle. Hopefully all get to around that 350K mark, which is easy enough to offload some players to bring them in. I'm looking to make about 150 to 200K per player on the bench to be able to facilitate that, which means I'm probably waiting for the mid-season draft, which is happening next week. So George Wardlaw's got to come in at some point and then grab a few of these players. There's a couple of teams who are looking like they want to bring in immediate players, which is kind of what we're looking for. If I can grab a couple of 102K rookies to bring in, bloody fantastic. If not, we might have to go Ford and Wardlaw. If we just look at the buys, as I was saying, round 12's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can put in a Baker and it goes down to 5. We should be fine there. No donuts. Round 13's okay. Round 14, I think we had 7 out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's when it starts to get a bit dicey. We've really got to try and bring in like 3 extra players. It's not too bad with Baker and Johnson if they survive. But hopefully these guys get offloaded for playing rookies. I really want Gold Coast and Geelong to bring some rookies in, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Hopefully some guys with the round 12 bye look to bring in some, ready-made players. And then round 15 is a bit tough as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 players out for round 14 and 15. If we can bring that down to, 4 players, then we've got best 18 on the field. And I think this year that's actually going to be pretty useful. I don't think a lot of teams are going to be able to do it. It sucks because the likes of Wardlaw, who's going to be fantastic. The kid was killing it until I think it was it Melican or someone else? Maybe someone in the chat can quickly come and tell me who basically knocked him out in the game and then he came back. But yeah, until that happened, he was on track for a good 100 plus. So at this point in time, when you've got limited trades, they're the players you want to bring in. Ideally, I'm going 1 up, 1 down with the bench. And then I've got some cash left over, can do a Will Day trade to offload him. At the moment, I think 89 plus 474 is, let's say, 560K. So I can bring in a player at the moment for that price. But I'm probably going to wait until his buy round. So hopefully he doesn't tank in price anymore. Looking at the break even, it's only a 110. Maybe he gets down to about 450K, scores a decent score for me, maybe against St Kilda this week, and allows me to maybe bring in someone who's about 560K. So we'll see what happens there. Cool. Let me know in the comments, guys. Something a bit different. Maybe I'll start doing the live streams like this just to get it in the way and stop having to do so much back-end stuff with my team reviews. Hopefully you guys like the format. Let me know in the comments who you're going vice captain and captain. I'm probably going to go, I was going to go Steele, but because Hawthorne still got the taggers, I don't think I'll pick him this week. I might go Sharp as as my loophole player. So let's just do that first, which will actually allow me to loop. 1 second. Which will actually allow me to loop Oscar Baker, which is hilarious. So let's do that. So Sharp captain at the moment. And I'm looking to, maybe we'll say, there's no opposition really. There's no taggers against Zach Merritt, so he might be one to bring in. I don't have Petrarca. He'd be a good pick as well. Steele, I don't think I'd pick anyone from the Sydney Carlton game. Seems a bit rough when it comes to captain scores, especially with Goulden not doing as well as what he's been doing in the past. West Coast, yeah, so maybe you could probably go Bont if you wanted to. He'd be good vice captain. TIO Stadium should be, I think it's a bit smaller, so he might do a bit better there. Tom Stewart's always a shout down at Geelong. Maybe we'll try and repay the faith. We might go Zachy Merritt this week. Something a bit different. All right, guys. Catch you in the next one. Remember, here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so you don't have to. Bye for now.